Got him. We fucking got him.
I fucked up.
Now, mate, just because you lost.
You know what? I didn't say that. Do you know what he's lost? Yes, sir. You know what he's lost? You want to sign? You want to sign it?
No, it's fine.
We are back for another episode of Big Six Man. It's Title Talk episode
5 or 6. Gonna say 6.
How do you not
7.
know?
I need to start numbering these things. 7, 8, 6. It ain't been 7 weeks since we. It's Title Talk episode 7, isn't it? It's episode 7, isn't it? Let's just make that one. Let's make one up. It's episode 7. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to man them. You know what I'm saying? I'm joined by Fam Zone's very own Dee.
Come on, broski.
Come on, good to see you, my gang. Obviously, we
Come
got
on, my G.
halftime hooks as well. Big up your damn self as well. You know what I'm saying? We got Matt obviously repping from Coppish as well. And of course, we got Ammo as well. We've got Troops up in here, you know what I'm saying? Joining the man them for some title talk as well. Obviously, you lot can't lie, I got a flu in. I'm feeling it's peak how I'm feeling right now, but it don't matter, you know what I'm saying? Because you got work to do, you got streams to do. But make sure you do subscribe to the man. Remember the motto: if you support me, support me. Make sure that you subscribe. The man them is in the title and also in the description below. Like this video if you're watching this back, if you're watching this now. And yeah, man, let's get to 16,600 subs. I don't know how many subs we're on, but we're like 20 something away. You know what I'm saying? You lot, man, them. It's an interesting day today. It's a very interesting day today. You know what I'm saying? Of course, the league could be done today, or it could be done on the weekend. And of course, next week is where Arsenal are really going to be looking to pepper up PSG in their own gaff. Obviously, first of all, we'll talk about the league, then we'll get to some of the Champions League stuff as well, because obviously we haven't had the full house around for the last 2 weeks, innit? So a lot's happened since then. You know what I'm saying? But big up the chat, you know what I'm saying? Big up Certified, Tyrell, Victory, Sky, Obi, and you know what I'm saying? Kizzy, everyone. You know what I'm saying? Big up the family, man. Man, them. The league is officially done. You know what I'm saying? We got some news today that Liverpool believe that Trent could still sign.
I swear.
Yeah. Hey.
That is not the report, fam. Is that the report that you read? Is that how you interpreted that report?
Ian Doyle, brother.
It is the echo though, so you kind of have to like.
Yeah, obviously, that's what I'm saying. I said reportedly. Said reportedly. You lot, drop your guards, man. Then drop the guard. I get it. You really want to see him leaving. I hear it.
I don't care.
I'm saying.
I don't care. I honestly don't care.
No,
if he stays, you have me to thank, because I made him question going to Real Madrid because I slapped them up.
Yeah,
if anything,
and that's why we're linked. That's why we're linked.
Man, say you have me to thank you, though.
Yeah, you have me to thank, bro. You get me?
Listen, that's just a quarter of what you have to repay for us beating Tottenham in the final. That's just a quarter. That's just a fraction. That's if we're talking about you should thank me. You should be thanking us every other day of the week. You know what I'm saying? That should be So yeah, man. Let's actually even start with that. Like Matt, obviously, we spoke about Trent in it, man. We're talking about Trent and that.
We have. Listen.
If he signs, if he was to sign and say no to Real Madrid, and anyone can answer this, would you guys question like the big kind of, the journalists, the Ornsteins, the Fabrizio Romanos and whatnot, because of how certain they've kind of been on the situation, or would it be more of a Liverpool thing? On the odd instance, because he could, you know what I'm saying, on the odd instance, because it's a weird one. It is a very weird one.
I think he's going.
So do I.
But if he does change his mind, you can't really. You can have a go at the journalist, but I would say, but anyone can change their mind last minute. Look at Gerrard with the whole Chelsea situation. I remember Sky Sports News. I think they found Rick Parry in the car park, and then they gave him the microphone. They're like, "Oh, what's going on with Gerrard?" And they were like, "He's staying." When everyone thought he was going, so this can happen.
Yeah, and obviously, as I said,
you know what I'm saying?
Fab was obviously shout out Abdi. Fab said it's a matter of time before here we go. Ian Doyle is obviously going to Liverpool believe there's still a chance he can sign on. So it's like, and obviously he's tapping the badge, backing off his shirt in a game that means fucking all. You know what I'm saying?
No, it means something. No, it means something.
You saying it means more?
No, yeah. Do you know why? It means something because, like, even though he's leaving, like, let's be honest, like, he still wants to win things with Liverpool while he's there. Like, it's not like he's breaking away from like his childhood love. You know what I mean? Like, he still wants to win things there. Why wouldn't he celebrate? To me, that's normal. Like, he scored the winner that just took you one game closer to winning the league. Why wouldn't he celebrate?
I hear it.
If he didn't celebrate, do you know what I'm saying?
No, but for, like, listen, tapping the badge. Do you know what I'm saying? I feel like that. I feel like it's similar to this thing, man. I think it's all very cryptic. For me,
Just
personally, I still think he's going. But like the 0.03 recurring percent that I thought he might be staying has now gone up to 0.1%. I ain't gonna lie to you.
But not everything's cryptic though. That's the thing. Sometimes, remember, he still plays for Liverpool. The emotion is going to take over. He's just scored. Remember, that's his first game back since his injury. He's seen everybody talk mad about him, call him names, go crazy. So that's his way of saying, that could be his way of just being like, listen, I still love this club. Like, do you know what I mean? But
would the fan base have egg on their face if he was to sign?
Remember the shirt? I can't remember if he put his shirt on the corner flag or whether it was McAllister. Was it him?
And Ibby was saying, "This is your club. This is your club."
But then again, it's like,
this is it. You can't tell me that some of that's not cryptic, bro. You can't.
No. But what it is though, if they're doing that whole "this is your club" and Virgil pushing him to the front, with the celebrations afterwards, that's them for me trying to convince him this is still your club, because I think he's already got his mind made up. I think it's more, can Liverpool change his mind? Because I do think he's gone, bro. Unfortunately.
No, I hear it. Shout out Midoriya as well. He's saying that Trent Alexander-Alvarez wanted you to burn his shirt. Listen, man, I think it's this, innit? Trent's not stupid. He's not dumb. He's an intelligent young man. And the way I see it is that the Liverpool fan base could have a little bit of egg on their face. And that does include myself if he does choose to stay. You know what I'm saying? Because the uproar was crazy. You know what I'm saying, man? Let's be honest.
Yeah, fact.
You know what I'm saying? So it's an interesting one. Shout out Roms, you know what I'm saying as well. And
we are the man.
What's going on, bro?
But yeah, I feel like, just quickly before we do move on, we're just saying about obviously the Trent celebrations. Obviously, Ian Doyle coming out and saying Liverpool still believe that there's a chance that Trent can still sign. Like, I think obviously Fabrizio Romano saying the opposite. It's all a bit cryptic and a bit, are they finding things to talk about? It's just all a bit weird to me. You know,
the only hope,
Ibu saying this is your club and whatnot, hanging the jersey on the corner flag. Is it like a goodbye gesture? Is it an I'm saying gesture? Is it just him being obsessed with Liverpool as he is and not really hearing none of the noise outside?
I agree with Matt. I just think his pent up frustration. He still loves the club, and that it was just, bro. When you score a goal, you celebrate naturally anyway. The whole
not like that.
Not like that. I hear it, but I feel like
Leicester away from home, bro. Like, and the worst thing is, it wasn't even 89th minute, bro. 79th minute.
Yeah, but we're closer to it. He's brought us closer to a title as well. You gotta understand that.
Brother, we were always winning the flipping title, man.
The only thing I've seen similar to this, just quickly, Roms, I don't know if you remember, I think it was Alphonso Davies. Fabrizio kept on saying for ages, Alphonso Davies will be a Real Madrid player. And then I think it was only in February of this year that he decided to stay at Bayern. Bayern. So that's the only transfer where I've seen really the top journalists get wrong. Everyone thought he was going Real Madrid, and the deal just didn't happen right at the last minute. So I don't know.
It's an interesting one. Shout out Lewis, Alfonso Diaz. He goes, big up the man, them elite panel. Big up yourself, bro. He says, Arteta mistress Egal talk shit. Could it be part of this panel with his delusional takes? Brother, no hate on the guy, my friend. Sorry, he's a friend of ours. Even though he has delusional takes or different takes, that's what makes the entertainment, brother. You know what I'm saying? That's what makes the entertainment what it is. So he's a good friend of ours. So, you know, we got to respect the man, then. Respectfully.
You ain't lying.
Right.
You know what, Monster? There's something similar to add on what Matt said. I'll be real. I only know this because of Twitter, Carl. When I was 8, 9 years old, I don't remember this happening, but Schweinsteiger was apparently going to go all summer. Then at the end of one game, I think they won the league 2009.
Manchester announced he was staying, innit?
And then he announced he was staying. Obviously, I don't think I've said from September, I think he's gone in it. But that's another example, Matt, to add on to the Alphonso Davies one. And he was that, similar to Trent, he was at 99% gone. Like, Bayern fans were as he's doing a speech, Bayern fans are booing him, bro. And then he literally says he's staying. So, yeah.
Imagine the booth turned to cheers immediately. You know what I'm saying? So it's a weird one. But just enough about Trent, obviously. The title is basically done now, innit? And there's obviously been a lot of discourse. I'm seeing a lot of things on the timeline. Arsenal, man, troops. You know what I'm saying? D, Hooks. Do you lot kind of resonate with all the stuff that's kind of going on in the timeline? Or is it more of a, we just need to do better, we'll go again next year kind of thing? Or is it more of this PGR, MOL stuff? Because I'm seeing a lot of it is infesting the timeline. That's all I'm seeing.
What do you mean? What stuff on the timeline are you talking about?
Like, Bear Man are just saying PGMOL, dead title, dead this, dead that. Do you man kind of agree with that? Or do you man kind of think it's more of a copium type of thing? What's you man's opinion on that? Because
it's definitely a copium thing, blood. Man are trying to find excuses as to why we didn't win the title, blood. You get me? It can't be an outside interference thing. It balances out at the end of the day. We did have some bookie decisions, but you can't just blame it all on that, blood. You get me? There was games where we weren't good enough. We dropped points at home. 12 draws, blood. You get me? That's why we didn't win the title, blood. You understand? You can't be drawing 12 games in a season and then expecting to, you get me, win it, especially in the climate now. Like back in the day when man was a young buck, you could get 12 draws in a season and win the league. Now, you get me? You got to have maybe 5, 6. You get me? You got to have a lot more wins to get over the line, blood. So it's a bit of cope, innit, blood?
Yeah. Hooks, D, you man saying with that one?
I don't even care about the league anymore. I'm gone past. I'm on the Champions League now, man.
Yeah, man.
League's finished. I don't even care about that. Come on, fam. Let's be serious. Let's be real, but I don't care about today's game. Nothing. I don't care about that. I just want to make sure we get through no injuries. Just practice for PSG. Make sure we get the right combinations. And obviously, Partey's missing first leg, innit? So play like the teams you're going to play. Get the relationships going. I'm only care about PSG game. Obviously, I don't want to lose and get get the morale down and stuff like that. Obviously, the players that come in, I still need you to perform. I need you to give Arteta a headache. You know what I'm saying? If Ranieri plays or Trossard's playing, I need you lot to perform to prove your point. You know what I'm saying? But in terms of the league, and I'm not focused on that at all. I'll worry about that in 2 months.
Yeah, it's warm up game, man. Truth be told, they might as well be playing at a local park. the game don't matter at all, bro.
Not quite. I don't want to lose. Not quite that.
Them local parks, you pick up injuries, one pothole.
Bro, one little pothole. You know what I'm saying? You bust the foot on the concrete maybe one time before you get to the grass.
No, because there's 2 ways you see it, innit? You can see it both ways. You can see it as like, see, in the last game, Leif Davis nearly crashed Saka. You understand? That could have been a nasty. He could have been out. You know what I'm saying? So you got one where you think you rest the players, or do you play players to keep the morale going and keep them into form going into PSG? It's either or. You know what I'm saying? Depends on how you see it.
Yeah, no, I hear it. Listen, D, I like this version of you, innit?
Talking about what version don't you like?
I like this version of you, man.
What version don't you like?
I'm just saying, Hooks, you too. I like this version of you, man. Yeah.
Hey, what can I say, man? I got bigger fish to fry. Do you know what I'm saying? Man, I'm trying to go for my first ever UCL, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? I don't care about no DB game versus Crystal Palace, bro. Even Prem. The thing is, as well, yeah. Them man are gonna, the thing is, yeah. Do you know what? I'm actually questioning whether I do the watch along or not, yeah. Because I think this game's gonna be so dead. Because even them man don't care about this game. Because they got a Cup semi-final on the weekend. So this could fully just be some dry game, bare low quality, people not even really caring. Like, I don't know, man. Like, the season's just done, innit? Do you know what I mean? Like, and I mean, just to go back to your previous question, like, Arsenal can only really blame themselves, innit? Because, like, there's games that even in between, like, the Real Madrid ties. Like we drew 2 games. Well, we drew to Everton and drew.
We didn't need to draw, yeah.
Yeah, we drew back. So it's like, you know what I mean? Like what am I really like? Obviously, like the guy was like obviously the super chat brother was slewing up Igal, but all you man slew me for the same thing. Do you get me? But I can't even run the thing at the moment. Cause like, bro, I can't back. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I can't gas up the thing when them man are not even trying to gas it up themselves. Like, we've been poor in the Premier League, like the last 5 to 10 games. So it's like,
is it 3 or 4 wins in 10 or something like that, isn't it?
Oh, it's crazy. Like,
bring up James Money's comment.
Nah, don't bring that up.
no. This is for treat.
No, I know this. I just this guy's a dunce, blood.
So yeah. I said it, but they get me. Them man.
No. Quote it properly. The stars are aligning.
But you know what? The stars are aligning just in a different galaxy. Different galaxy. Yeah. I thought it was on this earth.
Different galaxy, you know. You know what it is, fam? You know what it is? You know what it is, Mons, yeah? It's about, like, you see our team, yeah, we have to make sure, like, it's a mentality thing. We have to make sure no matter what, you're going to every game trying to win, innit?
100%.
That's what it comes down to. You have to win every game, regardless of whether it's a friendly, regardless of whether it's a cup final, regardless. It's a mentality thing. So regardless of whether or not we're focused on the Champions League, we still have to make sure we're beating Crystal Palace. Because I'm not trying to go next season into Crystal Palace and they've got one up on us. You understand? And there's a new, like all these little things can create new rivalries. We've automatically got a rivalry. We've still got Liverpool and Newcastle to play, you know. So it's not like anything. Like before, I was worried about us getting dragged into. The top 4 race. You understand? And that's what I was worried about before. Now we've got a little bit of a buffer, but we've got to make sure we just stick to winning and gliding through.
You've got a good enough gap, though. I don't think you're anywhere near a top 4.
But that gap can easily close. That gap can close with Liverpool.
I think in top 5 now, you got nothing to worry about. Because even if you used to drop a few points, and maybe even if you dropped a third, are you really like? You look at where Chelsea are. Will 5th place really have enough to do better than Arsenal that are maybe out of a bit of form?
Maybe not, but I don't want to lose.
I hear it.
I don't ever want to be in a situation where losing is never gonna be okay. It's never gonna be. There's never a situation in football where losing is better than winning. That doesn't exist. I know Tottenham did it when they wanted to lose to Man City to stop us or all of that type of stuff. But there's never a situation where losing is better than winning. You understand?
You think Tottenham would have done the same thing if it was a bit closer and the Tottenham game on the weekend?
But they were doing all the they were doing the Poznan and all that. They were doing the Poznan and doing the Man City celebrations and all that. You know what I'm saying? That's their own.
It is sickening, isn't it?
This is real. This is real life, fam. This is not like this is real life. This is people's livelihoods, and you lot are celebrating the ops, fam. Who does that, fam? I've never heard of that before in any capacity where you want your team to lose. You understand? That doesn't exist. And even now, if you look at it now, if they had won those games that they were supporting their team and won those games and didn't have that little doubt put into their team, they might have qualified for top 4. Now they're all 15th and all that.
It's crazy.
You understand? The decline can be real. So you got to make sure that no matter what, you're always winning. The mentality is to win constantly. They can't be upset now that they're losing games because they wanted their team to lose at one point.
Yeah, I hear it.
You can't pick and choose when you want to lose.
I hear that still. I can't even lie.
Shout out Mr. Link. He goes Liverpool in 34, which is could be that. I want to speaking on Tottenham because you bring up a good point, innit? Speaking on Tottenham, listen, just moving on to the Arsenal Champions League because this is the real bit that everyone wants to talk about, innit? Let's be honest. You know what I'm saying? Now there are many realities that can take place this season. That could be Arsenal winning the Champions League. The promised land. You man get into the promised land for the first ever time in your club's history. Therefore, I think overshadowing everything that everyone's done for every team in Europe, in my opinion. Yeah. Then, of course, there's the chance of maybe losing in the final or a semi-final. And maybe Tottenham or Manchester United winning the Europa League, therefore getting a place in the champs, leaving you guys trophies. And, I'd finishing with the same stuff, Champions League football next season. And then you kind of go in again. Man, how important is this UCL? Because obviously winning the UCL is a big ask. And I think if you lot lost in the final, obviously it's going to be seen as a failure, but winning the Champions League is no joke, innit? That is no joke. There's a reason why you guys have never done it. There's a reason why most men haven't won it, innit? You know what I'm saying? Man, just quickly. Is it a mad failure? Are we talking like if you don't win the champs? Here's a better question. Is it a must? And this one in the chat, put a yes or a no in the chat. Is it a must for Arteta to win the champs? Is it a must? A must. No other choice. No choice.
Yeah.
I think it is.
It's fully a must. It would be like, do you know what? Yeah, I think it will be. Do you know what? Obviously, respect to like who's still left in the Champions League, innit? Because you got PSG who won their league, you've got Barcelona who are top of their league, and you got Inter Milan who are top of their league, innit? So, like the people that are left in the Champions League, yeah, but you got people in their league. You got the people that are left in the Champions League. I think everyone can stake a claim to say that they should be winning the Champions League, innit? But I can only speak from an Arsenal perspective, and I think for you to go and do what you did to Real Madrid, who were probably a lot of people's favourites for the Champions League, regardless of their league form and how they've been playing this season. Like, it's like, how can you go and defeat the final boss of Europe, but then lose to, like, I don't know, the stage 3 boss, like, of the game, innit? Do you get what I'm saying? Like, so for me, like, you've already overcome the biggest. Like, for me, you've already overcome the hardest part. Like, you've already overcome.
Have you though?
No, we haven't. That's not the hardest part.
Obviously, on paper, yes, you've defeated.
It's not the hardest part. It's the hardest. It might be the hardest team in a one-off, but it's not the hardest part. Is actually getting over the line. You understand?
I disagree. I think the hardest. Yeah, cool. You might have bucked Bowser on level 3 in it. Cool, fair enough. But Princess Peach is in probably Barcelona or PSG right now. Because let's be honest, Real Madrid aren't the best team in the world this season. The best team in the world.
It's not even that much. It's not even that. I think a lot of the hardest parts about winning the Champions League and stuff is actually not just the nerves, but the occasion and stuff like that. Yeah. So it's not just about we've got past Real Madrid and that means we've got past the hardest part. That's not the PSG game in the semi-final.
I understand it, but the
PSG game is going to be more tougher. Than the Madrid
my point is that so you think Real Madrid is going to be the hardest game you'll have in the Champions League this season?
It was our hardest mental block at the time.
No, going forward. I'm talking about in general because I think that Inter Milan and Barcelona are better teams than Real Madrid this season.
Yeah, but it's not even about for me, I'm not saying it's the hardest trial because of like how they play. Like going to the Bernabeu is like, I don't think we're gonna face a harder atmosphere.
We will. Watch when they go PSG.
I don't. They're crowd of maniacs, bro.
I've been in that. I was in that away and 1-1 Alexis blood. Yeah, and I see Ozil looking around like, yo, this is
they're not.
Their ultras are crazy, innit?
Listen, Madrid's nice, bro. Madrid's nice day in the sun. You get me? A couple white flags.
Yeah, but we got to remember in France. Remember in France,
when you go France now.
They're all black.
Mad.
They're all black, bro.
Listen.
Don't get twisted. Them are not all. You got to look in the crowd.
Senegalese man.
Bear Goons,
Mali man. I'm not talking about Somalia. I'm talking about Mali.
Mali. Not Somalia.
Mali.
They got bear man that are not meant to be there on visas. They got all the visas, all the guys on visas.
Crazy.
All the illegal immigrants.
Trust me, blood. That man, they're just waiting by by fucking Calais, blood. Hey, we go to Paris.
Exactly. Nah, it's hostile for real.
Do you know what? Yeah, I could go one bet. Even if you knock out PSG, it's the final. The psychological aspect comes into it because a lot of your players ain't been there. Like, apart from Jorginho and Havertz, which, let's be honest, Jorginho won't start that final and Havertz probably won't even be fit for that final. You've only got 2-3 man at max that have won the Champions League. The rest of your players, this is the first time. Like Treat said about PSG, cool, let's say you knock them out. You then get to the final in Munich. You're looking around like, oh my days, we're already here. Because again, this is a competition you never won, and a lot of your players ain't been here. How are they going to handle that occasions? So I think you're spot on. I hear what Hooks is saying. Like, you beat.
I'm speaking about atmosphere, though. I'm not speaking about occasion. I'm speaking about atmosphere, innit? Like
the final, it could be worse, bro.
Yeah, I was gonna say, but the final is like where the biggest atmosphere is gonna arguably be created, though.
Yeah, but it's like a 50-50 split, bro. There's even gonna be like neutrals in there. I'm talking about these Arsenal players going to the Bernabeu where it's like 90%, maybe even more, Real Madrid fans, them man are closing the roof to make the atmosphere even more mad. Like they're doing up bare WWE PR prior to the game.
But you know what? You're missing one part though, Hooks. The part you're missing is when we went to the room, when we went to the Bernabeu, we didn't have to win. We were 3-0 up. We didn't have to win, bro. Like if we were 1-0 down, do you think it would have been a completely different game? You get it?
We can't say that because everyone was saying, "Oh, it's Real Madrid; they can turn it around." So we can't say that.
No, I know that, but I'm saying if you go to the Bernabeu 3-0 up, it's a completely different thing to go in there 0-0, isn't it?
I think Madrid never. I don't think Madrid really believed they could come back. I think it was just
fear-mongering. It was a fear-mongering.
I think they knew. I think Jude and them, they were like, you know what, we're fucked. Like,
and they knew it. It's in the first leg.
They didn't even after the first leg. They
were human beings, bro. They probably said, "Nah, you know what? This one, we ain't turning this."
And you know what? As well, they played us in the first 1-0. They knew how good we were. They played us.
If it was 1-0, their belief level would have been like, no, definitely. It would have been a different game, bro.
It was a PR thing. It was a fear-mongering thing.
We've seen Barca murder them this year, blood. Murder them. So these players know themselves. When the game gets to a certain point, they know. Yeah, they clotted, man. You know. Yeah.
So that's what we're trying to say, though. I'm not saying we're hating on Arsenal's win against Real Madrid. I'm just saying, in terms of from a difficulty perspective, yes, you've cleared the most difficult task in knocking out Real Madrid, who have the most heritage, but there's still better teams in the competition, which could prove tricky for Arsenal going forward.
I don't know about better teams, but they definitely play better brands of football.
I agree.
Real Madrid. Okay, who are Real Madrid better than? Like better than? Who have they been better than this season?
Yeah, but the thing is, like,
that's left. Have they been better than back?
Real Madrid's
Barcelona this season.
But Real Madrid's not better than you because of how they play. Real Madrid's better than you.
I'm talking about how they play. I'm talking about everything.
No, but this season, though, this season, you arguably say they're not having a great season. They're like, I think they're like second off.
Trophies already. Do you get what I'm saying? The man always told me trophies, that's the aim of the game, bro.
I understand that, but overall, there's been better teams, though, in Europe. Like, I would say...
Yeah, how they play. Yes,
how they have been slapping the shit out of them this
year. And they're going to murder them again on the weekend. They're playing them again on the weekend.
What Saturday? How Madrid go in a blender? In a big pot of paella, blood. What Saturday?
They got no Lewandowski. I mean, they got no Lewandowski.
And the thing is with Real Madrid, they ain't even been winning.
I'm telling you, bro. Big pot of paella, blood. You're Vinny in there, Mbappe in there, Rodrigo. Yo, Jude, come bring your spray, blood. Just mixing it. Watch your mouth cook up them Ross. Oh my God.
We're seeing a black spray vendor.
That's true, fam. Like the fact is, they ain't even been since we beat them. They ain't really been winning games like that anyway. And they finished. You got to remember, it's like us beating Man City. It's like Man City are like got the same situation where they're like the fitted team, but they ain't been good this season. So if you beat Man City, it's not the same as beating them 2 years.
Like Man United right now. You're Real Madrid in name, not actual like.
Real Madrid were saying we were gonna lose.
Yeah, you're on the same level. I get it though. Yeah,
obviously not the level of
it's the name.
We're moving mad.
No, it's true because Real Madrid right now, bro.
Matt, when we say
let me tell you something, they could finish the season without no Copa del Rey, no fucking La Liga, no Champions League. That's unheard of. That's unheard of.
They normally get one, just one.
That's unheard of. That is like the Man United drop off. What they've done is like the equivalent to what Man United are going down to 15 for them thing there. Big man thing. Because them man, they always bring something home. Denzel, blood. They're from round the way. Something always get back, blood. Them man, they leave the barbecue with a plate all the time, bro. Certain time, 3-4 plates.
We're moving mad. They got a game in hand in the league against Barca. Should they
win in the league, blood?
They win in that. They're 2 points.
They win in the league.
No, they're not. They're 4 points. 4 points.
They're not winning the league.
7 points.
Remember, Barca won.
They're 4 points
against Mallorca.
Yeah, it will go down to 4 points if they win.
4 points. They're 4 points behind them with what? But 4 points is not a mad gap. Bro, the last.
No, but they're not in great form though. As well. Madrid aren't in great form.
Hooks.
I'm just saying we're talking about Real Madrid like they're.
But you see what Barca's on?
We're moving mad. Yeah, Barca's on.
We're not moving mad.
We see what Barca's on. Barca just went.
Real Madrid are still a good team. They're just not as great as maybe what you're perceiving them to be this season, though. That's what it is.
I know they're not. I know that they're not mad wavy this season. But the way that man are talking about them, I think is a bit disrespectful. Still,
it's because how high they are.
No, Hooks. We're talking about compared to the teams that are left in the Champions League. Compared to the teams left in the champs, Real Madrid are not better than a single team left in the Champions League.
Okay, so say, but by the way, say Barcelona get knocked out by Inter Milan in the semi-final, yeah,
which can happen because
Inter
was serious. They've only lost 2 games
all year.
How do you think those Barca players react? Like what I'm saying is, the situation now looks mad, but say by the time it gets to the second leg of the Champions League, let's just say, for example, maybe Real Madrid 1 point behind Barca, and then Barca get knocked out. What do you think that's gonna do to like the mentality of like the Yamals who's still young? Like I'm just saying, it's not.
Yamal just won the Euro. Yamal just won the Euro. Yamal's mentality is okay.
He's been on the biggest stage.
Yo, La Liga. Let's go for the La Liga. Them and they ain't gonna be like, oh my god, we lost the semi-final. Oh my god.
You never know. You never know.
Nah, man, look, them man, they are already winners. They already have got across the line. They're already mentally there.
Okay. So it's never mentally there. Let me ask you man this question. Let me ask you, because the way that you man are talking about Real Madrid now, cool. If that's the case, why did most of you man think that they were going to knock out Arsenal? Because they're dead, right? So why?
No. That's not. No.
Never said they were dead.
Let me answer. No. You lot at Liverpool. Let me answer. Whenever I had a fit Saka, whenever I had Gabriel, yeah. That's why I believe we weren't going to beat them, blood. That's why. We never had our best defender and our best player, blood. Yeah? And Odegaard is playing like a fucking pussy out the door. Yeah? That's why I thought we were going to lose, blood. Yeah? Somehow, Selassie, I said, well on troops. Only for pain you got through my you. Me have something for you. You understand? Literally. Because, be real now, Hooks, blood. Yeah? If Saka, even if even the way that Kiwior played, if Saka's not there, we don't win that game, blood. Yeah? Saka was the reason why we got through that game, blood. Because it's not because the way he played in that tie, blood. He brought an energy to the club, blood. He brought energy to the fan base and energy to the players. Them man, they started to think now, okay, cool. You know what? Now there's someone that we can actually go and war them with now. You understand? And at the time, they're looking at it and saying like, yo, who's going to ride out, blood? Like, okay, we can keep it tight at the back, pause. But are we going to go and lick them down and catch one on the break, blood? Now you bring Saka into it. You understand? Boom, game changer. I'm telling man, bro. That's the reason why we beat Madrid, bro. Or that's the reason why I didn't think we were going to beat them, blood. For the same reason. If Saka was fit going into the game, I would have gone into it with more chest, blood. I literally said, if Saka was fit before, like when we was going into it, I said, if we were going into it with a fully fit Saka, even with the loss of Gabriel, I think we could beat them at home. And then hope and pray thing away from home. Do you understand?
Yeah.
But these man just... They turn it up.
And not only that, Real Madrid.
Do you know what it is? Hold on for a second. Do you know what it is? Yeah, I think we're taking the conversation slightly left from where it was supposed to be. The point wasn't that fact that Arsenal are beating a dead Real Madrid. So what the hell are they going to do? The actual point was that Real Madrid, as big in name as they are they currently bigger, better than any of the teams that are still left in the competition? Because Arsenal still have to play 2 out of the 3 teams that are left. So therefore, playing a PSG and possibly an Inter Milan or a Barcelona could be more problematic than what you've had to face in the Real Madrid side that's been disjointed all year.
That's why I'm saying PSG is a more difficult game. They've got players in form. They got confidence. They got the league title. The man are literally resting, man, all week. They play Friday. They've won the league already. Blood, they played Dewey in fucking midfield last week. Dembele weren't even in the squad. Cavastrello on the bench. They man are taking the piss right. Bro, Donnarumma, a goalkeeper. Donnarumma is not even fucking getting game time. The man literally sitting there saying, Enrique's like, yo, chill. Fuck, nope, you ain't playing. Training. You man just train and stay fit. We don't care about no fucking pitch, 90-minute business. You man just stay fit because Arsenal is the thing, blood. Do you understand? Watch when they come to Emirates, bro. I'm telling you, blood. Even that first leg. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Watch their fans when you hear them fans in the Emirates, bro. I'm telling you.
Do you know what? Let me put it in a simple way.
You know, we've experienced it.
They are mad.
No, I'll put it in a
I've heard it, and I'm like,
I'm not
yo,
gonna lie,
these man are.
I'll put it in a simpler way. The simpler way for me is because we beat Real Madrid, it means that we can potentially win the Champions League, but it doesn't mean that we're favourites. You get it? So you're thinking because we beat Real Madrid, that means we're basically favourites because we beat the reigning champions. But I don't see that like that. I see it as it's a boost to our ego, you get it, and it's a boost to our confidence. That's more how I see it. So we go into the PSG game with no fear, but it does to me. Real Madrid, don't forget they finished like 20th in the league or something, and I'm talking about in the Champions League group stages in the big format. They finished like 18th or 20th or something like that.
So did Real Madrid.
I'm talking about Real Madrid.
That's
I'm
what
talking
he's talking about. Real Madrid kind of scraped through towards the end.
I'm talking about Real Madrid. That's where they finished. So if we're it's like if we're talking about who we're playing against, you got to see it as we beat Real Madrid, and people didn't expect us to beat them.
Real Madrid finished above PSG in the table.
Yeah, they did.
What's your point? What does that mean?
PSG, that's the point. PSG then knocked out Liverpool.
Can I add context to that?
Have confidence as well.
Can I add context to that? PSG didn't start firing until 2025, bro. Their 2024, their first 6 months, it weren't all that.
No, we beat them already.
Even look at their league, their draws.
We beat them already.
That's what I'm saying. I think same way. I think Arsenal will draw great confidence on knocking out Real Madrid because that's obviously sent shockwaves to the whole world. It doesn't matter what type of Real Madrid it was. That sends a message to everyone else in the competition. I also think that from a PSG perspective, beating Liverpool over 2 legs and being quite comfortable at times at Anfield, especially in that first half, I think also sends messages to the Champions League as well. For them to knock out Liverpool,
it nearly got dark for PSG in the second leg against Aston Villa. You know,
I agree, Hooks.
Bro.
Super dark.
Aston Villa showed you the blueprint.
It was dark.
How to get at them.
It was dark for them. They should have. They really. Aston Villa took their chances. They would have got knocked out.
If that Conte header goes in,
it was dark. Not just one-on-one as well.
Fine, man.
The Max and volley in the last kick of the game, blood.
Last kick of the game.
That was going in. That was going in.
But that's where I feel like the bias kicks in. I think man, are focusing on the second leg against Villa, as opposed to how they destroyed them in the first leg. For one, could have been way more. Should have been way more.
Bro, they smoked them in the first half. If we're being honest, in the second leg.
Yeah, bro. Like and also
with Villa, and that's maybe because PSG took their foot off the gas and they got a bit complacent. Villa got one, into it, bang, bang, bang. We've seen it happen before.
But man are acting like Emi Martinez didn't have to make saves in that second half.
Yeah.
Villa could have came back, but Emi Martinez had to make enough saves in that second half. What are we doing?
No, I think we're doing a bit. Do you know what? Yeah, I'll be real. Yeah, I think that there's a bit too much bias at the moment because Arsenal beat Real Madrid. Because if Real Madrid knock out Arsenal, man say that Real Madrid are knocking out PSG.
What?
Yeah, I agree with that.
We're actually saying that the final is before Arsenal knocked out Real Madrid. People are saying that the final is gonna be El Clasico.
No, but you're acting that way, saying you haven't done well.
Running too much. By the way,
but why both?
You know what it is? Madrid have previous in it, so it's that plays into that plays a part as well. Where you understand you're that dominant, you're the holders as well. You're expected to. You know what I mean? You get past the quarterfinal, all right, cool. And we all know Madrid. They could be stuttering how PSG have been early in the season. From it gets to that February, March times where, okay, cool, now we have to pick up wins. Now we have to hit form. Now's the time when we can make our season into a banger. You get me? They normally kick into gear, blood. You get me? Enough years they've done that. Even last year, bro, they were kind of stuttering. And then 2025, they would them.
Even in the final
season
again.
You get me? Towards the end of the season, start to pick up a little bit of form.
You feel me?
Say?
So
even in the final, they should have got battered by Dortmund, man. Dortmund all over.
If Dortmund, prime example, Dortmund better team, but they couldn't handle the occasion, like Dee said, bro. You understand that occasion? You're running through. Normally you're running through some random German farmer blood. You understand? Some Dutchman on a windmill blood. Now you're running through. It's Courtois blood. It's the white shirt. Different thing, bro.
Bro, true. We done well. We done well. You get me? We done what we had to do to get through. But the fact of the matter is, now playing PSG, I don't think anyone thinks because you beat Real Madrid, we're going to beat PSG. I don't think anyone thinks that.
Yeah.
And I think if Real Madrid got through against us and then played PSG, I don't think we'd be saying, Real Madrid are guaranteed to beat PSG either, based on what we're seeing. I think we would have all thought, PSG are going to be a tough a tough team to beat for Real Madrid. You understand? We all wanted Real Madrid instead of Atletico anyway. That's what we wanted. We wanted Real Madrid ahead of Atletico. No, Hook, you're right. Man, we're saying we're gonna lose. Man, we're saying we're gonna lose, but we ended up being right, innit? So now we got to be right again. It's not. You can't just be right once. We got to be right 2 more times.
I just don't like the notion that because you beat Real Madrid, it means like PSG are gonna be. You get it? I think every game's it's a different challenge. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, it's not as big as an achievement. It's not as big as an achievement.
We got no party for the first leg as well, you know.
You know, I'm not even saying, bro.
To me, that's not so deep. To me, that's not so deep. Like I just think, yeah. Do you know? Yeah, this is the way that I view it. Yeah, cool. If you look at Arsenal have scored the exact same amount of goals in the Champions League as PSG. So when we're talking about when it comes to like scoring and attacking threat, yeah, we're like, bro, people will say, oh, but they got Dembele, oh, but they got Kvaratskhelia. But by the way, I've scored the exact same amount of goals as them in the Champions League. Them man have conceded I've conceded the least goals in the Champions League at the moment, you know, with 7. I've actually conceded the reason why I got through against Real Madrid is because Mbappe, Vinicius Jr., Rodrigo, Jude Bellingham, them man could not break down my defense. This is what I'm known for. I'm known for this. And man say, oh, when you played PSG last time, it was a completely different PSG. No, it wasn't. Bro, they had 2 players that are not playing now that wasn't playing then. Outside of that, they play the exact same.
Two of their best players.
They're pivotal. Dembele and Kvaratskhelia. That's
how can you ignore that? How can you know Kvaratskhelia and Dembele, 2 of their best players this season?
That's like you having no Saka, no Martinelli, bro.
They don't tactically play different. Like I didn't beat them because they're
a stronger team because of personnel. So just like Saka on a tactical level.
One minute, Hooks. Tactics go out the window because players like Dembele and Kvaratskhelia they got X factor. They can create something out of nothing.
Yeah, but man said that about Mbappe. Man said that about Vinicius Jr. Bro. Man said that about.
That's still a
player. But that's one tie. It doesn't always work like that. It's not always going to be the same for the other team, though, isn't it?
But okay, cool. And then this is when I go, cool. But by the way, who has played left wing this season, gone up against Timber and
he respects a dusty Madrid, but he don't rate cold PSG.
No, I rate PSG. I just think that we're going through. I'm just super confident that we'll go through.
It's not. It won't be easy though, blood.
But you should be confident. No one's saying you shouldn't be confident.
This game has to be because I got a cup. But let me just leave man with this year. This game has to be like the Madrid game. We have to go there with the tie done. If we go there and it's 1-1, 2-1, we ain't got a 2-goal lead minimum. Long night, blood. Long night.
I agree with that to some extent. I think if us beating Real Madrid, it means that we've got confidence. All it does is give us confidence. It doesn't give us anything else up to the PSG game. It just means that we've got more confidence to beat PSG. It don't mean because we beat Real Madrid we can beat PSG. It's not like the Premier League where you beat Man City, you should beat Crystal Palace. You get it? It ain't like that. This is like you beat Man City, but now you're playing Liverpool.
Mm-hmm. I don't think Inter Milan would look at. I don't think Inter Milan would look at Arsenal and be like, "Oh, we beat them 1-0, and we rotated players and we still beat them 1-0." But if they play you in the final, I don't think they're going to be looking at you the same way. They're going to be looking at this. Wow, this is
but it's a final.
It's the final, bro. Semi-finals hold mad weight as well, bro. I don't know why we're saying. The point is that for you to discount Kvaratskhelia and Dembele,
I'm not discounting them.
You are discounting them.
I actually praise the fact that
you literally just said 2 players. They're not different teams. It's the same.
No. I said that people
are a different team about Saka, Martinelli.
No, what I actually said is people are saying that we played a completely different PSG, which we didn't. It was only Kvaratskhelia and Dembele.
But you can't not completely. But you can't.
And then I even said the reason why we beat them wasn't because they didn't have Kvaratskhelia or Dembele. Arteta tactically.
Fabian Ruiz didn't play as well in the midfield.
Fabian Ruiz, cool, but we tactically outsmarted them.
So that's 3 players. So if we went in there with no Saka, if we went in there no Saka, no Martinelli, and no Rice, do you think we beat them?
We didn't play Rice. Rice didn't play when we played them.
But if you add in no Martinelli, no Saka, and no Rice, because that's the 3. That's like their 3 that they miss out. That's the 3 for us. It's that kind of level.
Yeah, but I mean, what we're doing is we're going to the mad hypothetical to try and disprove the point. When really and truly, if you go back and watch the game, the reason why we won is not because of they was missing Kvaratskhelia, Ruiz, and Dembele.
Oh,
It's
They
because
had nothing, but they had
Can
nothing
you
going
also
forward.
agree
And they had
that
nothing in
that was
attack.
a different PSG?
They're like
in
Colomani
terms
and them
of
man there. Them
how
man
they
is
were
shit.
playing?
No. Colin
They
Mawani
weren't-
didn't start, bro. Lee, hold on. Kang Lee started in the full
Yeah,
game.
Kang Lee started
Oh,
through
nah,
the
come
middle,
on,
bro.
Hooks. Nah, Hooks, man. Nah.
Kang Lee.
no, you
Man, them
man,
love, yeah. Man, them love.
Love, bro.
Crazy. It's the shout out troops, man. Go
Hooks, all I'm
subscribe
saying
to
is this,
Troops,
though.
man.
I'm not saying you didn't deserve to beat PSG, even with their injuries. What I am saying is, though, that was a different PSG. They weren't in the same form that they're in now. They've obviously like evolved since when you've played them. Now, I'm not sitting. Yeah, and I'm not sitting there saying, "Oh, they're definitely going to win." I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, though,
None of us
you
are.
can still be confident because yes, the Real Madrid, like Dee was saying, the Real Madrid win will give you confidence,
a
but
bigger
it doesn't
thing.
automatically mean because you beat PSG before that it automatically means you're going to beat them again, and it's
No,
going
I'm
to be
not
a
saying
much harder game.
I'm
It's going to be a way harder game. There's more on the line now as well.
I'm
You know what
not
I'm
saying. I'm not saying that.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying there's certain like metrics that point towards like me being confident about Arsenal beating PSG. Like PSG have to prove that they can break down my defense.
100%. You're not wrong for saying that. Of course you can be confident. Brother, it's your team. You're in the semi-final for a reason.
I got the most clean
Why
sheets
would you
of
not?
all the
Why
teams
would
I
you
left.
not be confident? But what I am saying is, though, to sit there and say, "Oh, when we played them last time," this is the bit where I disagree with. When you said last time they were missing X amount of players, yeah, and you were like, "Oh, these two players," but they were key players, and not only that, that was a different PSG to the PSG you're about to play now. That's
They
one thing I will
they
say.
didn't even miss Kvaratskhelia. He wasn't at the club. It's not like he was there and not available.
No, I
wasn't.
understand that, but now they've added an X
Yeah,
factor
now
player,
he's there now.
and you've
Yeah.
never faced that yet. That's
And
what
then-
I'm saying.
Okay,
Yeah.
and then I asked,
Mm.
who has played left wing this season against Arsenal and cooked Timber? Nobody. Timber has not been cooked by anybody. Not one guy this season.
I don't know. I haven't watched enough games.
Do you know what I feel? Do you know what I feel like you're doing? Because something's not happened before, it can't happen in the future. That's what I feel you're doing. Because I agree with you, Timber's not been cooked. But I was even saying it earlier in the stream with Brad. That's the one fullback I have not seen cooked yet in his career when I've watched Arsenal. However, just to say because he's never been cooked, it's not to say now that. By the way, I'm not saying this will happen, but it's not to say now that. I don't know, one of PSG's wide men don't cook him. Do you get it? It can still happen. It's highly unlikely, but
I'm saying why I have the confidence. I'm giving you reasons why I have confidence.
That's fair to say. That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. That's fair.
No, I hear it. Listen, I just think PSG Arsenal is going to be a really good matchup.
Yeah.
I just, as I said, I think two things can be true. I think Real Madrid could not be at their best. Arsenal still made mincemeat of them because the job still needs to get done. And I also think that the same thing is that PSG are probably a stronger team than they were. Not probably, they are a stronger team as well. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's what I think. What I would say is that we haven't actually had an answer to the question. Would it be classed as a failure to not win the Champions League?
Yeah.
From this point, from this exact point, the fixtures you have, and chat, I just want a yes or no. On a yes or no.
Not a failure, man. That don't make sense. It's not a failure.
I'm not saying it will be. My thing is, I'm asking the question from an Arsenal perspective. Would it be a failure? Because I can see if you lot don't win the champs, I can see a lot of the fan base going back to type where it looked like you join Real Madrid and you're not winning the Prem. Arteta out. You know how it gets in it. You know how it was prior to that Real Madrid win. There was a spirit in the Arsenal camp. There was kind of a little bit of a black cloud, I think, over the Arsenal camp. In my opinion, as you've gone out to Newcastle, the Premier League was slipping away and you have Real Madrid to play. So I think the Champions League is so hard to win. Can you look at that as failure for the manager? Or would you look at it as failure from a different standpoint to go, the fact that Arsenal are as good as they are and still can't win a trophy, is that something that's more worrying to the fan base rather than the Champions League kind of it being UCL or bust?
I think it's more the season for Arsenal because the expectations were they were going to. See, here's the thing: I didn't expect Arsenal to get this far in the Champions League. So for me to sit here and say failure, that's more about bantering, more that you didn't win nothing. But if I'm just being logical, I can't sit here and say that. But if I'm talking about the Prem, I could say yeah, because I expected Arsenal or Man City to win it, bro. At the start of the season, I put us as third. So that's me saying now. I can't go back on that now and say, oh, Arsenal not winning Champions League is failure. I can't say that, but I can say it about the Premier League. But as Arsenal fans, I can't answer this question. It's more about how do they perceive their season, because everyone's going to have different expectations. So, like Hooks, I know Hooks, I think you said you thought you was going to win the league. Obviously, maybe beginning of the season. I don't know your expectations, D. So I don't know how this correlates for your Champions League, innit? That's for you guys.
When you say it's a failure, when people say it's a failure, you got to remember, is it a failure to not win the Champions League? Only one team can win it, you know. So it's not a failure for even if we get to the final and don't win it. Everyone hasn't won it apart from the team that won it. So if you say it's a failure to not win the Champions League, that means it's a failure for everybody to not have won the Champions League. You get it? I think the difference is obviously that Arteta hasn't been winning along the way. So I guess you're saying if you don't mean if he doesn't win the Champions League, you mean if he doesn't win a trophy. That's basically what you're saying.
Yeah, because it, as I said, it culminates to the same thing.
Yeah,
overall.
Yeah.
Shout out Lit Vibes. He goes 2 free kicks was different. It may never happen. Shout out Yo. He says let's get the likes up, people. Yeah, we got 900 in the house, and we're sitting on 228 likes. Shout out Dan Potts for the raid as well, man. We've gone from 600 to 900.
We're gonna run up their likes though, man. 900 people in there. Come on, man, people.
Smash the like button if you think Arsenal are not going to win the Champions League. I want to see something.
Look at you trying to get the likes up.
He's on. Look, 15 likes in 1 second. You see what I'm saying? See what I'm saying? I just want to see the hater
for a random thing there, you know.
I just want to see what the hater raid was saying, innit? All right, cool. Now, like the video if you believe Arsenal are beating PSG comfortably.
No, not comfortably.
I would
shout out Dan Potts for the raid as well. Make sure you guys subscribe.
Come like you don't want likes. You can't say comfortably.
Yeah, I've been answering the question. Well, can't I ask questions? You know what I'm saying? I can't ask questions. Shout out Mr. Miyagi. One more win. You never walk alone. Hashtag number 20. The last part of the stream, obviously, Liverpool obviously winning the Premier League now. And obviously, this is more for Matt and Roms, but obviously, Arsenal, man, definitely put your 2 pence in as well. And then, what does this kind of mean? And is there any discount from inside the fan base as to say that, like, cool? Because there were a few quotes saying that, you know, if Slot doesn't perform next season, it's Slot out, his job would be in danger, rare tear. Does winning a Premier League give you a comfort blanket that not many managers get, especially with Liverpool? Let's be honest, two Prems in 34. So let's keep it. We have to be honest about it. We have to be honest about it.
You know what? If we're thinking of this logically, Arne Slot's I'm not going to say probably, but could keyword be a victim of his own success because he's done so well in his
has he set the bar to a point where now he could be out of his depth due to winning?
I think it's also deeper than that. I don't think this is even a Slot thing. I think it's a Liverpool thing because we've seen summer after summer when we've been at the top, we've never strengthened from a position of power, right? And I can just see in a world where, let's say we're 8 games in and we got 2 or 3 losses. People just, rival fans, sometimes not even rival fans, inside our family saying, oh, see, look, he couldn't do it again. The pressure's on. But I think we need to do something that we've never done before, especially with Klopp, and strengthen from a position of power. And the fact that he didn't spend money, Mont, I think he needs to. Once he gets players in his design, if we start this season off a bit shaky, Mont, then look, me personally, I can't discount anything he's done. Prem in your first season is mad. There's a reason why there's a handful of managers that have done it. But I do feel, if you're asking me, is he under pressure? I do think he is, and he's going to get his own players now. I know sometimes we have our reservations.
What happened with Conte after he won his first title?
Conte?
He won the FA Cup the season after, I think.
Yeah.
And he finished top 4.
Did he get sacked the year after that? I'm actually asking the question.
Did he have a bust up though? I think he might
have got sacked that summer.
Chelsea, because I know there's Chelsea man in the chat. Chelsea, remind me, when Conte won the league and then obviously won the FA Cup next year, did he finish 5th the year after he won the league?
But do you know what it is though, Mons? Can I say this just quickly? You see, under Jurgen Klopp here, Jurgen Klopp is a legend and forever be a legend. One of the greatest managers that I've ever seen in my lifetime, especially for my club, innit?
He got sacked after the FA Cup.
Here I'm gonna say though, you see Klopp's mentality, as much as I rate him and what he's done, one thing I didn't like, because no one's perfect, right? I didn't like this underdog mentality. And like, if we didn't make Champions League or we didn't win the league, it's like, it's not too bad. we are Liverpool, and I'm sure Arsenal want it the same way. You want your expectations to be high. You want the levels to be high.
But that's my point. Is the expectation going to be to do something we've never done before and retain the Premier League title?
Yeah, bro. The expectation will be next year. I want to see us at least another title challenge again. If you don't get the title, at least bring me home a trophy, because you want the expectations and stuff to be high. Yeah. You don't want it to be. This is the one thing I will say. Slot never shied away from wanting to win the Premier, though. Do you know? Do you know one thing? I'll never forget what Klopp said. This isn't me having a go at Klopp, but I'll never forget when he was like, they said, "Who are the favorites?" And he goes, "Well, it's Manchester City." It's like, bro, where's Liverpool? Like, what? He said it, and I was like, "Nah, Klopp, don't do that."
I mean,
but again,
I hear it.
He liked the whole underdog thing.
Kind of like when Maresca.
Even after the year we won the league, I think that might have even been that might have even been summer 2020 when we won the league.
It might have been.
I remember that.
And Klopp is a legend, you know. This is why, again.
Yeah, that was just kind of what I wanted to see. Just because, obviously there is a notion about this Premier League that I feel like football is very much what have you done for me lately, and this year might feel like a long way away this time next year if things don't go the way they should go. And then there's also the way things could go if we do well. And I think Arsenal are going to be there next season. I feel like they will be there. I feel like City will be back to pushing their hardest, and it's going to be I think it's going to be a more entertaining season than it would be this year. Not to say that football is based on only entertainment value, but yeah, that's just a question I kind of want to talk to man. Before you go on, Rose.
I feel like next season, right? Like I was going to say, start this. Actually, this is a question for you and Matt. If you had to pick one trophy to win next season, me personally, it's the Prem again, because we've never seen our team in our lifetime retain. I know some people still love the Champions League, but we've seen a couple of them to get. I would want the Prem again, and I actually feel, you're just saying teams that will be back months and that. Some people said this is mad, you can't write off City. I get that, but I genuinely think next season it's Arsenal and Liverpool, like to the end. This time, not with 4 or 5 weeks to go, because I think Man City, people don't understand how big that rebuild is. And I know you get the cliche saying, but they got Pep. And I can't lie, they got owners that will actually go out and rectify what needs to be rectified. But I just think Liverpool and Arsenal are in the best stead to go forward. I think if there's a surprise team that follows us up, I think it's Newcastle, because I think they keep their nucleus, and I think they're going to add quality on what they already have. But I can see City having a not as bad of a season, because I know when Rodri comes back and they add quality, I get that. But I still think they're going to be around 3rd, 4th. I think it'll be Liverpool and Arsenal again. I think this is one of the best opportunities in years to retain, bro. Honestly, I think is one of the best to retain the league. So yeah, Monts, we got to go for it again. But like Matt said, if we challenge, which I think we will, and then bring in an FA Cup or a Champs or Carabao next to it, it's still maintaining standards, because I feel like we've become accustomed now to winning every year. If you deep it, last year Carabao, but the season before that we didn't win, but then the season before that was the domestic double, then we had another gap year, then the season before that was the Prem, the season before that was Champions League. So we've been used to actually winning trophies. You have the whole year off. So you're spot on, man. You're actually spot on.
Yeah, no, I hear it. I can just see how things can look in it. I can see how things can look. I think I'm going to try and enjoy this Premier League to its fullest, as well. Just quickly as well, from an Arsenal perspective, man, you kind of look at it the same way, where it's like, you've won the league. Next week, you tackle next year how you tackle next year, or does a trophy kind of, you need to maintain the same standards kind of thing.
I think if anything, Slot's giving himself a bit of a grace period. Like, I think he started off his career in arguably the best way possible. Like, because now it's like, I don't know. Like, obviously you want to win something every season, and ideally, if you can, you want to win the Prem as much as possible. But I feel like him coming in without any of his players and winning the Premier League for Liverpool, I feel like Liverpool fans will be like, you know what? Go and build your team now. Do you know what I mean? Like, just don't embarrass us and finish like 7th or 8th and win nothing. But you know what? If you grab us like a FA Cup and we go far into the Champions League and we're in and around potentially winning the Premier League for the majority of the season, I think that's kind of cool. Do you know what I mean? Because you'll be like, okay, I see where you're going, but then it's the next season. You have to be like, all right, cool. That's now 4 windows now of you getting your players. Now go and try and challenge and win the Premier League again, innit? But I feel like winning this season has given him a bit of a grace period, innit?
Yeah. No, I hear it. Listen, you lot, big up for today, man. The chat's been exceptional. We are 7 subscribers away from 16,600 subscribers. So I know out of the 800 of you lot, there's 7 that aren't subscribed. So please hit the subscribe button. Kopish, Troops TV, Famzone TV, halftime hooks. It's all there. Don't be dumb. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you guys subscribe to the Mandem as well. Hooks has got a pre-record coming out as well, so I'm just gonna pop that in the chat as well for you lot to go and have a look at. Is there any other videos that you guys have today that you guys want to shout out?
Not today, I don't think.
No, calm still.
Yeah. Hold on. There you go, people. You know what I'm saying? I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Obviously, that's another episode of Title Talk wrapped up. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, man, we'll see you guys in the next one. Make sure to like and subscribe. We got everybody in the chat, especially those who spent in their super chats. You know what I'm saying? And we'll see you guys in the next one. We're going to see you guys at 10 p.m. right after the Arsenal Palace game with the Mandem, me, Casey, Corey, Ethan Kids. You know what I'm saying? The Mandem in it. So you guys will see you in a bit. Bless up and have an amazing day. Big up, people.